into the Galaxy trilogy coming out this weekend.
Yes.
This is supposed to be the end of them as a group. We know that Dave Bautista's not coming back. Zoe Saldana has said she's not coming back. That's two big members right there. And because James Gunn, the director, is now heading DC, we know he's not coming back.
Of course.
They've said before all this that Part 3 was going to be the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we all knew
that. If it goes back, it's going to be a totally different group.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
Yo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Miami Geeks Weekly Updates brought to you by digitalcracknetwork.com. I'm your host, Pleasure305. With me, as always, old school gaming specialist, Uncle Willie.
It's Monday. How can you be so cheery?
Yeah, so cheery. I mean, yeah, you're right. But I also had Taco Bell, so it kind of evens it out. But I'm feeling pretty good. Wait, whoa.
You had Taco Bell.
Whoa. Yeah, I had Taco Bell, but that's not the point right now. The hell do you mean Super Mario Bros? Meh.
The movie was meh.
How?
It was fine. It was a decent movie, like entertaining to just take in the whole turn your brain off and just watch the pretty colors way.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it.
There's people talking about that this is the second coming of the greatest movie of all time. The first coming of the greatest movie of all time, obviously, is The Princess Bride. Anyone who says otherwise is just a hater.
Okay, but first of all, second coming? What the hell? I mean, look, I'm not gonna knock it. The movie was actually fun. I love the movie a lot, but it's not no freaking Oscar-worthy type of thing. Now, Jack Black singing, I'll take anybody to the grave on that one because that guy's amazing.
I'm just gonna say this.
What?
I'm just gonna say this. Please don't get mad.
No. Go.
This movie is no RRR.
Okay, fine. You know, I can't even argue with that because I didn't finish seeing
because it's true.
Okay, but I still.
So now, okay, I have a name for the perfect crossover.
Okay.
Super Mario and RRR. I'm gonna call it Super Mario Brothers.
Stop. Just
at some point, Mario and Luigi will fight alongside Luke Cage and Hawkeye. You haven't finished watching the movie.
Look, you know what, man? Let's just start the show, man, because you're going to throw me off, and I'm not going to know what the hell I'm talking about anymore, let alone that I'm tired as hell, but yes.
Do you ever?
Maybe not. No.
That's what makes this podcast so entertaining.
It is, man. But let's get started, dude. There's so much to talk about, and especially here that, okay, so apparently it looks like Microsoft announced today that they're partnering up with the European cloud gaming platform, Nware. Am I saying it right?
Yes, Nware.
Okay, so it looks like they're what? They're signing up a 10-year agreement to work with them and stuff like that now, Willie?
Yes. This is the standard nowadays. You sign up for Microsoft, you sign up for 10 years. So
Jesus.
Nware is a cloud platform. I think it's based in Spain. Microsoft announced a 10-year deal with them. This is, I'm going to say it's hot on the heels of the decision by the UK's Competition and Market Authority, the CMA, saying that they're going to block the Activision Blizzard deal because Microsoft has a monopoly on cloud gaming. I'm going to say this is Microsoft's way of showing, hey, we're trying to get other people in on this.
I mean,
this is
okay, fine.
This is the third cloud gaming deal that they've done. Previously, they did one with Nvidia for GeForce Now, and they did it with another European company called Boosteroid. Now, these companies are the one that are cloud gaming in the sense that if you buy games on Steam or GOG or any other platform, you can play those games on their servers. That's how this is working. This is basically saying, if you buy an Activision Blizzard game or a Microsoft game, in this case, you'll be able to play it on their platforms. So Game Pass isn't the only way you can play these in the cloud.
So damn.
Will it work? Will it work to make the Brits chill a bit? I don't know.
I don't know
again,
either, man.
I don't have stock in this, so I don't care.
I just think that Microsoft is always trying to pull some heavy things, dude. And this is pretty heavy so far. I mean, what's next? Let's just be honest. Like, what's next for them to do?
They have pulled the 10-year agreement deal with NVIDIA, with Boosteroid, with Nware now, and they also did it with Nintendo. Mm-hmm. They offered it to Sony, but Sony is still upset because they don't want to lose their Call of Duty bag.
Of course.
They don't want to lose their whole Call of Duty on PlayStation bit. I think that, truthfully, Sony needs to lighten up. If they wanted Activision Blizzard so badly, maybe they should have purchased it.
I mean, you do make a valid point there, Willie. If they did really wanted it, I think they could have just fought it and got it. But
they wanted to keep the arrangement they have right now, where Activision Blizzard's a third party, but Sony throws money at them so that Activision Blizzard gives them preferential treatment when it comes to Call of Duty. That's what Sony is mad about. And I'm going to keep repeating it until everybody understands this. Sony is mad because Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard means they can't pull their little, play this before anybody else bullshit that they've been doing.
Got it. All right. Well, fine. Then we'll probably we'll leave this to the audience and let them decide what they think. Guys, please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. And we got to continue on, Willie, because it looks like Blockbuster game development costs are out of control. And I think we talked about this last year, if I'm not mistaken, about the facts that they're raising the prices on AAA games and stuff like that. Am I not mistaken?
This is something that we've talked about several times. Details first. This is coming on the heels, again, of Microsoft's fight with the CMA in the UK over the right to buy Activision Blizzard. It's not talking about, whether or not Microsoft has a monopoly. It's talking about how crazy the AAA game budget has become.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to, again, details first. This is an excerpt from the report from the CMA. The report says that some AAA franchises like Call of Duty have development budgets already exceeding $300 million. And the next GTA and other future tentpoles are expected to hit $250 million or higher. Activision is also quoted in this report saying, with reference to COD, we have to make so much content for Call of Duty that we can't even lean on one lead studio anymore. Now we need almost 1.5 lead studios for each annual COD. That kind of bandwidth pressure is forcing us to use outsourcers more and more. I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Oh, you know what this sounds like to me, dude? And, I know I'm way out of the field in this one. It almost sounds like the whole thing with Disney and their video production, how they're trying to force like everything to be out on a certain time and really rushing to get things done in a certain time. That's what this kind of sounds like, but just for gaming.
Different. It's the same but different here.
Yeah.
Call of Duty has the schedule that it does because Activision Blizzard decided Call of Duty has to be a yearly title. So they're going to throw all this money at the game to make it bigger and better than the last one, and it has to come out every single year. For reference,
okay,
they're talking about Call of Duty's budget being $300 million. All right. That's without marketing. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has a $250 million budget.
Oh my God, so video games got more budgets?
A game that has a bigger budget than a movie. Now,
That's insane.
Let's not kid ourselves. The reason why they throw this much money in it is because they're getting that money and more back. We're talking about $1 billion franchise. So they're going to throw that much money at it. Same thing goes for Grand Theft Auto. GTA 6 is a huge game. Some more facts from the report. One publisher says it spends $164 million on pre-launch development costs and another $55 million on marketing. A second publisher said that their budgets will range from $80 million to $350 million, and that doesn't count the marketing costs, which can be up to $310 million. A third publisher is talking about $110 million to $350 million. A fourth publisher ranged from $90 million to $180 million, with marketing that ranges between $50 million and $150 million. And their most expensive game, they didn't say who this publisher was. The most expensive game cost $660 million to develop.
Jeez.
And had a marketing budget of $550 million. So that means that this game, one game, took up $1.1 billion. Now, I have this question. I'm not a game developer. I'm not a game development studio. I don't know the kind of resources that are needed to make these games. But if you are spending $1 billion on your game, I'm expecting that you're expecting that money to come back to you. Because if you spend $1 billion in that game and you don't get $1 billion plus back, you're bad at video games.
Well, but of course they're going to get their $1 billion plus back. I mean, they're putting content there every once in a while that you have to put some money in. And of course, it might look cheap for us, $1 here, $2 there, but times that times $1 million, and then you have all these freaking people buying it 2-3 times. Yeah, dude, it's just gonna add up eventually.
I have some names to throw at you.
Okay.
See if you agree with me after I say these things.
Go.
There are games that have huge budgets and had no reason to have these huge budgets. I'm talking about Babylon's Fall. I'm talking about,
I don't remember Babylon's Fall.
No one knows that game because that game came out and was canceled immediately. Forspoken, another game that just came out and disappeared. As much as it hurts me, Saints Row, the new Saints Row. These are games that I'm sure had giant budgets and failed. There's been a problem since after the PS3 days. Like after PS3 and Xbox 360, the publishers just want big games that they see will make them millions of dollars, billions of dollars. They want all their games to make Call of Duty money, and they spend Call of Duty money in budget to make these games. And then these games fail because no one wants to play their games because they're too busy playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. They don't focus on making the game appealing or fun. They just want to make $1 billion game.
They don't want to make a fun game that'll have, its niche audience. I can go down the line of PS3 games that you may not know of that are really good. You don't see that anymore. Everything has to be either a blockbuster AAA title or it's an indie game.
Yeah, there's no in between, or even if there is an each or, it should have been a fun game. But you don't hear that. They're like, "Oh my god, you saw the latest that game." They don't say if it's fun.
Every game has to be.
Oh my god.
every game has to be the biggest game on the planet. And they're thinking, we're going to make this game and people are going to go nuts and spend money like crazy to buy this game. And then the game comes out and people are like, well, yeah, I'm playing Fortnite. Oh, I'm playing Roblox. I'm playing Call of Duty. When's the next GTA coming out?
It sucks. And sometimes they don't even finish the game. They're still stuck on a story mode or whatever. And they're like, okay, done. On the one that another one's gonna come out. You're like, you finished this game. Why can't you just finish this one? Ugh.
They're expecting people to stop playing whatever game they're playing because their new game came out.
Yeah.
Then their new game comes out and nobody wants to play it. Marvel's The Avengers.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks that we're aiming to this type of gaming era now, Willie. That it's not about how fun or interesting the game is, more if how popular it is, and putting it on Twitch or YouTube and stuff like that to see how many people watch you play a certain game, and that's it. Like that's how technically
every game has its fan base.
Yeah.
Like I say, Marvel's The Avengers, and I'm sure there's at least 3 people listening right now that are triggered, like saying, "Oh, that was a good game." It might have been a good game, but not a good enough for Square Enix. They canceled that bitch.
Yeah, they did.
So why did they cancel it? Because they didn't make the money they wanted to make with it. They wanted to make Call of Duty money.
Of course they did. Why wouldn't they, right? But still, dude, that right there, we'll leave it there to rest for now. I'm pretty sure along the line we're gonna hear more stories like that, and of course we're gonna come on and bring on and cover it. So stay tuned about that, guys. Now, Willie, we gotta get down to the blockbuster, bro. I mean, I have to say that I called it. And it's the Super Mario Brothers tops $1 billion worldwide, smashes studios records in Japan international box office. And I can't be any happier. I mean, I'm glad. That's pretty cool because that means now, hopefully, they actually give you a part 2 for Super Mario Bros. And give you another story. I'm not saying that part 1 was bad. To me, part 1 was phenomenal. I had a good time. Now, was it something that you'll be like, oh, you remember the story? No, because it's all video game based. Bowser wants Peach. Peach is trying to defend her kingdom. Mario comes out of nowhere, but that's the thing that we get to know. Why did Mario come into this world? And now Mario is freaking defending the Mushroom Kingdom with Princess and doing all this thing and trying to save his brother. So technically, it's like watching a video game movie. But now, if we get a part 2 of this movie, I'm expecting a little more in-depth story, a little more, can I say character build up? Like a character build? Because we know these characters already, but I kind of want to see them in the movies giving you more of a build up to their story. What do you say, Willie?
The whole purpose of this movie being so successful is the fact that there's no depth needed. You know who the characters are. First, the details.
Yeah. Go.
As you said, the Super Mario Bros. Movie officially crossed the $1 billion finish line worldwide. It is the 10th animated film in history to cross $1 billion worldwide. And it overtook Despicable Me 2 and Minions Rise of Gru. Those 3 movies, by the way, all by Illumination.
Nice.
All 3 movies hit $1 billion.
Nice.
I'm going to say that they know what they're doing.
I will have the price say the same thing.
But we're going to talk now money. Mm-hmm. Domestically, Super Mario Bros. Movie made $40.8 million in the box office this past weekend. It overtook everybody. Like the closest one is Evil Dead Rise. In its second week, it pulled in $12.1 million. Really good for a horror movie.
Still, yeah.
I still have not seen it. I didn't get to go with my horror bitch. And I won't be able to this weekend either because I won't be in Miami.
Yes, he won't be here.
Now, then it gets really interesting. At number 3, we have the debut of "Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret," which pulled in $6.7 million domestically in its opening weekend. At number 4, a little-known movie. I don't think you've heard of it. Star Wars Episode 6: The Return of the Jedi.
Is that brand new?
Yeah, it's like I said, it's never been seen before. It celebrated an anniversary by being re-released, and it pulled in $5.1 million.
Yeah, okay. A little chump change.
I want you to know that movie came out just this weekend and made $5.1 million.
Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves has been so disappointing, it couldn't make more money than a retread from 1984. It only made $4.1 million. John Wick Chapter 4 was ahead of it at $4.9 million.
Oh my God.
The Dungeons and Dragons is going to be in streaming this week.
All right.
Rounding off the top 10. At number 7, Air pulled $4 million in. At number 8, I don't know what this is. Ponyin Selvan Part 2. I don't know what this movie is. It made $3.8 million. At number 9, The Covenant pulled $3.6 million. At number 10, Sisu. I've heard very good things about it. Pulled in $3.3 million. Right after that, Big George Foreman, The Miraculous Story of the Once and Future Heavyweight Champion of the World. If you need that many words to spell out your title, go to hell. I don't need to. I'm going to go to a movie theater. I'm not going to say, yeah, I want to go see Big George Foreman, The Miraculous Story of the... No, I'm going to say the George Foreman movie.
Foreman, please. Yeah, that's it. That's as far as you'll go. You're not going to read the whole thing. If you go to a theater and God forbid, and I see you say the whole George Foreman, title, I will personally rip your ticket in front of your hand, slap you, and send you to go home.
If the theater makes you say the entire title before it sells you a ticket,
I'll slap them.
You have the God-given right to pee on them.
Standing up. I want to take it any less.
If you're a dude and you pee sitting down, no offense, but you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about
that. Like the only advantage that you have is that you can pee without having to sit down. You can pee on the move.
Yeah. Now, if he could pee and walk at the same time, that's awesome. That's just a God-given
walk at the same time.
Gift right there.
Marathoners do it.
I tried it. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty weird how to control your bladder. And
you
know what? We're getting out of topic.
You got to turn to the side. You don't want to pee ahead of you. I'm just saying.
Okay, got it.
If you pee ahead of you, you're going to have a very piss poor walk. I'm just saying.
You know what? I think we're way off topic here, but still, the fact is that if you're going to say that
on brand
for the movie,
is it on brand? Is that how we are?
Yes.
Okay then.
But still, Willie, I want to say for Blockbuster wise, I'm glad that Mario Bros is doing that well, and also that they have talks about creating a Nintendo universe, which that's phenomenal. Again, I just want them to create good stuff.
Because they all have to have a shared universe now.
Of course they do, man. Because that's what it is. It's all about the universe.
You know what I need now? I need it to go to the next level.
Go.
Hear me out. Mm-hmm. I need a pornographic cinematic universe.
Where we're going with this, Willie? Because I'm not sure.
I want it. There has to be. It culminates in the epic comeback. Take that however you want. I know you're thinking of Kim Kardashian.
Yes, I am.
Debbie does the multiverse.
Debbie does the Willie, that's it. Can these people give us money already, for God's sakes? I mean,
I don't know why we have not been paid yet. A pornographic cinematic universe.
The comeback.
Yeah.
The C.
Because Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, she had cum on her back.
That is
that is a segue to our next story.
Ladies and gentlemen, Willie is right, and it's about Chris Pratt open to return as Star-Lord in the MCU, which kind of says a little bit but not a lot. And I'm kind of scared of the fact that he's opening to returning. Meaning, is it trying to say that he's not going to return, Willie?
No, that he's. I mean, okay. Details first.
Please.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the ending of the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy, coming out this weekend.
Yes.
This is supposed to be the end of them as a group. We know that Dave Bautista's not coming back. Zoe Saldana has said she's not coming back. That's two big members right there. And because James Gunn, the director, is now heading DC, we know he's not coming back.
Of course.
They said before all this that Part 3 was going to be the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we all knew
that.
that.
If it goes back, it's going to be a totally different group. Now, that says nothing about Chris Pratt, who is Star-Lord. He was talking to comicbook.com, and he says that coming back seems difficult. And I quote, "That's so daunting. That's the reason not to do it. I think I would have. It's so elegant and perfect right now with the 3 films. And so to think of moving forward, it's really hard. And without James, I don't know how that would work. I'm open to it, but man, I don't know." He goes on. "I want the Guardians to continue myself. That doesn't necessarily mean with Chris or with anybody, but I would like to see the Guardians continue in another iteration." That was James Gunn talking. He did mention around the time of Guardians 2 that the Guardians as they are right now would not continue past the 3rd movie, and that if anything, there would be what would be in the comic books the original Guardians, starring Sylvester Stallone and everyone. Well, I mean, it would be difficult to see those Guardians, because if you remember the people that were in that and in those old school. Well, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the old Guardians, you saw them.
Yeah.
Okay. We know that Sylvester Stallone is going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He's going to be his original character, Stacker Olgord. But if you remember, he was alongside Michelle Yeoh and Miley Cyrus and others. Would people be receptive to those Guardians after seeing the original Guardians?
That's a good question.
How would you feel?
Honestly, I will feel a little weird about it, because since I'm so used to the characters that we already built up to, grown in love, it's going to be kind of odd to see now a new set of Guardians. But then again, maybe in Part 3 they will explain something that will make it to a point where you're like, okay, I see it, I can see why, and then kind of expect it, to happen. But to see another set of Guardians and like you're like expecting to see Groot, Rocket, and all these other characters, you're gonna be like, damn, if I'd rather see them, because they are the ones that made it possible to enjoy and watch. I mean, for God's sakes, you're the same guy, Willie, that told everybody here, even myself, more than once, Disney, Marvel made us care about a talking raccoon in a tree.
Correct.
So, a what?
Correct.
Yeah. So then the fact is that if, let's say, for instance, something happens that we don't see that, and they're going to make a new Guardians, but with new characters, you're going to be kind of like, damn, there's something missing from this. I like these other characters. How come we can't see them? Or why are they not on this? But again, we haven't seen Part 3, which I'm seeing it this weekend. And I'm just kind of like, that's where it holds me right now. And the fact that we have here freaking Chris Pratt kind of talking about it, like the way he makes it sound. I mean, the way it looks on here on paper, black and white, like he's willing to return as Star-Lord, but it's not going to feel the same for him. He's going to be missing his director. He's going to be missing his I was going to say classmates, his cast. and stuff like that. So it's gonna be kind of like, okay, I could work with these people, but it's not gonna feel the same like the other 3 movies that we've done, or 4 or 5 that they've been in. So it's gonna be kind of a weird feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like starting
No,
a
I
new
get it.
school from scratch,
I
technically.
get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could see a situation where Star-Lord can show up on his own later on down the line. I mean, you can work it in. And
No, you're right about that. You're absolutely right. I don't need Chris Pratt to just be in the Guardians of the Galaxy. He can still be a Guardian, you know what I'm saying? But if he shows up periodically in certain movies that has to do with space and whatever, I'll be okay with that too. But I'm still gonna be missing the other teams, you know. You know what I'm saying?
but I mean, we don't know what they would do if they would even do that. I'm just saying it's possible. And Chris Pratt is a bankable enough actor now where you go and say, "Oh, wait, Star-Lord's back." People will be like, "Okay, I'm in." But funny, we should talk about Sylvester Stallone.
Okay.
Because I saved this one for you. I didn't send you this article because I found it before we started the podcast. I want to horrify you.
Oh, please go on.
We talked before about Sylvester Stallone wanting to do another Rocky movie. And we talked about how he wants to do Demolition Man 2.
Yes.
Here's the trifecta of pain.
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone to return in
porno?
sequel to 90s hit Cliffhanger. I just sent you the article.
If you're gonna tell
Deadline
me,
reported that Sylvester Stallone is coming back as Ranger Gabe Walker
are you
in that movie we all know and love.
Are you kidding me? Seriously, cliffhanger? Cliffhanger. What is he going to be hanging off of? A cliff bar? Because what? Dude, no. I don't see it. He better be on a moped or something before I see him climb a mountain.
Listen, it could be worse.
How much worse?
Might I remind you of the cinematic masterpiece that was Rhinestone?
No, stop. No. You know what?
No, we're going there. Play the clip.
Budweiser, you created a monster, and they call.
Why?
That happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Why?
That was real. Sylvester Stallone and Dolly Parton sang country music together.
You know, this hurts my liver just seeing that, right?
You know what helps your liver out?
Not alcohol, because after that, alcohol's not going to help this thing. It's going to make it much worse. It's like the equivalent of drinking pure gasoline right now.
It'll make your liver feel better because it won't be thinking about Sylvester Stallone singing country music.
All right. Well, you twisted my elbow and shoulder, arm, kidney, nipples long enough with this one, Willie. I shall drink the drink.
You have to now to make you forget.
I have to. That song was. I don't want no more. I'm fine. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think of everything we just talked about from above and below? Please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation about this. And we're done. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on this amazing show. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button just to know we come with this amazing news 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesday, Friday, a little something in between. Please keep in mind, this week, Willie's not going to be here. I'm going to try to make something up in these 2 days. I'm going to see what I could, squeeze in and whatnot. So be patient, but the show must go on. So yes, Willie, any last words?
I just want you to look back at that clip that you played of Rhinestone and just remember, no matter how bad you think things are, it can be worse. Imagine if Rhinestone 2 starred Sylvester Stallone and Chris Tucker.
Stop. Okay, you know what?
And Chris Tucker was the one singing.
Actually, I'll accept Chris Tucker. Stop. I cannot with you right now. This is Monday. This is my
Chris Tucker singing country music with his smoky voice.
Oh God, stop. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you sometime this week, hopefully. Peace.
Bah!